sit in my yard. It is, I don't even know what time it is. It's night outside, but I got the yard lights on, right? And then my daughter's friends and her are going to come out here and do s'mores. So I turned on the fire pit for them to do s'mores. And it made me nostalgic for a few minutes. My college girl this is it, right? But this is what we do. We build for our kids to be able to have these kind of moments with their friends. Super wholesome. Friends came over earlier and they made a seafood boil, sat and ate that. And then the girls were like, can we do a fire pit? And my answer was always yes, because we need to enjoy the yard that I pay mortgage on. But I mean, look at how pretty this is. It's gorgeous outside tonight. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it is perfect. My neighbor actually just got finished cutting his grass because it wasn't as hot as it was earlier today. Somebody in the comments the other day on my video around college said, good job, mama, and I thank you for that. But there was a recent video on Michelle Obama and her brother's podcast talking about how we build for our kids to live without us, or how their parents taught them, raised them how to live without us. And it reminds me of when I raised my bonus son, who is now 21 years old. When I was married, my baby, my bonus baby, his birth mother passed away when he was 4 years old. And so that gave me a very different perspective on how I needed to raise my children and how I needed to prepare them for life without me. And some of the stuff that I talked about is my daughter having this great executive functioning and doing all these things for herself, getting herself prepared for college. A good percentage of that is that I wanted my daughter, and I want my kid to be able to, yes, miss me, but be so self-sufficient that she can take care of herself, and that's my legacy, and live on without me. And that's a good percentage of what it is we're trying to do for our children. When I watch so many parents today do everything for their kid, it cripples them. The world we live in, they need to be competent and cognizant and prepared. And I think I've always told her that intelligence is applied, not implied. And so you have to use your resources. You have to work hard. You have to know how to do certain things for yourself. And so tonight when she came down to my desk, she goes, can I go start a fire? And I said, yeah. We want to put s'mores out. I said, yeah, because this is all their last summer before they're no longer kids anymore. And I jumped in her bed this morning and said that. I said, this is my baby's last summer as a baby. And she's not a baby anymore. She's 18, but she's always going to be my baby. But you get only 18 summers with your kids. You only get 12 weeks each summer with your kids. So use those resources and that time wisely. I hope that helps. Bye, guys.